Good morning. It is June 1st, 1895 in Walla Walla. The sun is shining, people are out getting cool at our lakes, picnicking with friends and family, going for a drive in the Blue Mountains. Some are pursuing hobbies. Whatever that hobby might be. Tribute of flowers. Never has Decoration Day been more properly observed in Walla Walla than it was last Thursday. Never was the weather finer for the marching of the old soldiers. Never was there a more attentive or more appreciative audience than that which assembled on the Baker School grounds on that day. Never did a band render the national airs more softly, nor the school children sing more sweetly. Never was the speaking more eloquent and patriotic than the addresses delivered by ex-Senator Allen and the Honorable H.S. Blandford on that occasion. Early in the day, 2nd Street leading out to the city cemetery was lined with carriages, conveying hundreds of citizens and members of the Grand Army with baskets of flowers with which to decorate the graves of their departed friends and comrades. At 1:30 o'clock, the members of the Grand Army assembled at Union Hall and, decorated with Grand Army badges, formed a line for the march to the Baker School grounds, where the commemoration exercises were to be held. The front seats had been reserved for them, and the old veterans presented a really fine appearance as they marched and stepped to the inspiring martial music. When Senator Allen was introduced, he was greeted with rounds of applause. He spoke of the spontaneous uprising of the people of the North when Fort Sumter was fired upon by the Confederates. He spoke of Lincoln's proclamation and call for 75,000 volunteers, of the terrible repulse of the Union forces at the first battle of Bull Run, which caused the people of the North to realize, as they had not realized before, that a fearful contest was actually begun. In H.S. Blandford's speech, although a Southerner by birth and a secessionist by early education, he fired forth volley after volley of patriotic Union utterances. He said that although the soldiers of the North and the South have fought against one another as brave and determined enemies, that now they had forgotten the past and are pursuing the avocations of peace as firm friends and members of a united nation. Miss Matilda J. Williams, one of the most popular young ladies of Walla Walla, was married Wednesday evening to John H. Mower, a Spokane gentleman. Miss Williams had kept the secret of her engagements so well that the announcement of her marriage was a surprise to her friends. Mrs. A. Gardner favored the Gazette with a sample of her Jessie strawberries Wednesday. The berries averaged an ounce each in weight, taking only 16 to make a pound. The crop is grown on the stony soil 1 mile east of the city. Mrs. Gardner says that all the land requires is work and water to make it produce prolifically. An agent is canvassing the country for the sale of squirrel exterminator. It is a process by which the dens are fumigated. The chemicals used are cheap, and as far as tested, the process has been most effectual. Voice of the people, here and there. What's the matter with our young lady bicycle enthusiasts? I refer to the bloomer question. Too bad it seems to be dying out. I think the young ladies are making a mistake in not wearing them, for it is the only correct and convenient costume for the wheel. By the way, I find many persons pronouncing the word bicycle incorrectly. The accent should be on the first syllable and not the second. This is according to the latest authorities. What's the matter with our bicycle club? Is it on the wane, or are the boys going to surprise us? Get the young ladies to join, and then things will show up in good style. YC. Your communication did not enclose a stamp, so I reply through these columns. As I have never proposed to a young lady, I therefore cannot advise you in what to say. Omega. No, I do not think it proper for the young man to kiss you in front of strangers. Better reserve his kisses until no one but you are around. Lola. I cannot blame him for breaking off the engagement. It would teach you a good lesson to never eat onions on the eve of his visit. Cyril. Our public schools. Last Friday evening, the Opera House was crowded from pit to gallery with the parents, relatives, and friends of the high school of 1895, this being one of the auspicious events in the lives of the members, their graduation. The stage and boxes were beautifully decorated with bouquets and festoons of flowers and creeping vines. The class motto, Carpe Diem, loomed prominently from the background. Sketches of Lincoln about the people that he grew up around. Although gay, prosperous, and light-hearted, these people were brimming over with superstition. It was at once their food and drink. They believed in the baneful influence of witches, pinned their faith to the curative power of wizards in dealing with sick animals, and shot the image of a witch with a silver ball to break the spell she was supposed to have over human beings. They followed with religious minuteness the direction of the water wizard with his magic divining rod, and the faith doctor who wrote miraculous cures by strange sounds and signals to some mysterious agency. The flight of a bird at the window, the breath of a horse on a child's head, the crossing by a dog of a hunter's path, all betoken evil luck in store for someone. The moon exercised greater influence on the actions of the people and the growth of vegetation than the sun and all the planetary system combined. Fence rails could only be cut in the light of the moon, and potatoes planted in the dark of the moon. Trees and plants which bore fruit above the ground could be planted when the moon shone full. Soap could only be made in the light of the moon, and it must only be stirred in one way and by one person. They had the horror of Friday, which with many exists today. Nothing was to be done on that unlucky day, for if the rule were violated, an endless train of disasters was sure to follow. Ryan Drug Co., number 18 East Main Street, Walla Walla, Washington. We would respectfully invite the attention of the public to their new and extensive stock consisting of a complete assortment of drugs, patent medicines, perfumery, hair, tooth, nail, and flesh brushes. The diphtheria was confined to one house and is now a thing of the past, but the 2 vacant chairs in the family circle of Mrs. Green will serve to keep in remembrance this terrible visitation for the years to come. The baby girl of Mr. and Mrs. Holt is very sick at present of cholera infantum. The people of Dixie could very properly be called the Round Faces. They have an affliction of the mumps.